going on, you guys? June 9th here, and what we're going to discuss in this video is a very interesting article that was released in the mainstream media, why I think it was put out there, and the behind-the-scenes truths, essentially, that this article is somewhat alluding to. Now, I want to say before we get into all of this, viewer discretion, rated R, NC-17, rated X, whatever. We're going to talk about some stuff that's very dark, not very fun to talk about, but it needs to be talked about. Because the only way to drive out the darkness on this planet is to shine a light on it. And we cannot continue being ostriches with our heads stuck in the sand, acting like this stuff doesn't exist, because that way it's just going to keep continuing. And that's essentially exactly what the powers that be want. They want this to be so dark and so vast that when people confront it, they automatically want to turn away and not even shine a light on it. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to discuss it. And what spurred me to do this video is an article that was released on CNBC about a week ago. Now, you may or may not have already heard about this article, but it discussed how a company was essentially selling young people's blood, teenage blood, to older people for anti-aging effects. And you did not hear me wrong. They're literally selling young people's bloods to older people for them to get benefit from it. It sounds sick because it is sick. And for some more deets on that, I'll just go over this article a little bit for you. It says this startup is offering $8,000 blood transfusions from teens to people who want to fight aging. This company is called Ambrosia. They're out of California, owned by that dude, Dr. Jesse Karmazin, and he essentially takes blood from anybody who's younger than 25 and sells it to people who are over the age of 35. And freaking weird, man. I'll just tell you though, wouldn't get my blood because I'm not in that age range. So I know a lot of you still call me kids and stuff like that. So you wouldn't get my blood. But anyway, you just have to. You have to laugh with it. This stuff is so weird and bad that if you don't have some kind of humor when talking about it, sometimes it's very tough to digest. So anyway, yeah, super weird, right? Taking the blood of young people, giving it to old people. So what I want to discuss now is that you kind of got the background of the article they put out there, kind of highlighting this dude that just gave a conference about his weird ventures in regards to blood and essentially how a little bit of the science as to how they claim this blood does the anti-aging stuff is that it's full of what's called PRPs, or it's platelet-rich plasma in young people's blood, and it essentially is full of amino acids and growth factors that when given to elderly people helps their cells function better. And this is just freaking awful because there's so many ways to get more amino acids and growth factors and just health into your body than using other people's blood. A lot of supplements and great stuff out there. So this is that is a quick side note that's I wanted to make. But essentially why they are putting this out there, in my opinion, why they're reporting on this in not only the CNBC, but now in the past couple days it's reached Vanity Fair did an article on it, and Allure, and yeah, it's going around. But what the powers that be essentially have to try and do is put the truth in plain sight. I know you've heard this term before, but I want to clarify on it a little bit. There's many reasons why the elites put the truth in plain sight, and there's a lot of examples of it. I mean, I know you've probably seen examples of oh my gosh, The Simpsons could predict the future or something, or there's so many movies out there like The Matrix, the new reboot of Independence Day featuring reverse engineered technology that was built out to make a secret space program, and the Bourne series where you had a MK Ultra mind-controlled CIA assassin. So there's just so many examples of it. I won't get into all of them, but there's many reasons. And there's a couple kind of basic reasons. One is that they can get people to laugh it off that way, and they desensitize them to these issues. People can often say, oh, you just got that idea from this movie or this TV show or something like that. So those are some superficial reasons, but when you get into deeper spiritual reasons, it all has to do with cosmic laws, and especially the law of free will. And I won't get into a huge complex discussion regarding all that, but essentially the elite put the truth in plain sight as to not spin the wheel of karma. Because essentially what happens is that when they put the truth in plain sight, they're putting it in front of our face, and it's up to us to see that truth and run with it or not. And if we choose not to run with it, and like I said, continue being like ostriches with our head stuck in the sand, that doesn't spin the wheel of karma. Do you see? So essentially what the elite are saying, they're going, oh, ho, ho, we're telling you stupid, muggly humans what we're doing, and you don't even see it. So that gives us the right to continue doing it. It's kind of twisted logic, but that's literally what they believe. And what's really cool right now is that this whole like evolution of consciousness that humanity is undergoing, so many people are waking up to this that it's beginning to spin the wheel of karma. And not only are they just waking up to it and seeing what's really going on, but they're acting on it. It's the action that puts that wheel of karma. It's the action that gives rise to the power, right? You got to do the thing to have the power, as Ralph Waldo Emerson would say. So people not only waking up, but putting their energetic intent out there for this stuff to quit, right? For all of the slavery systems to stop, whether they're voicing their opinions on YouTube videos or writing articles or literally just talking to their friends and family, they're acting on it, and that's spinning the wheel of karma. And that's why the elites, all their plans are failing, their literal physical bodies are failing. Kissinger died. Have you even seen Bush or Clinton lately? And their truth in plain sight has to get more blatant and more obvious because more people are waking up. So they're trying to like stay ahead of the curve, but they can't because so many people are waking up so fast, which is awesome to see. But what's really bad to see is all the truths that are coming out, and that is in regards to the elite cult rituals. So why I believe they're putting this anti-aging blood effects topic in the public is that's how our Luciferian cult elite operate. It's been said that their rituals often contain child sacrifice practices and then the ingestion of the children's blood, which they do because it is their belief that it will strengthen them. And I mean, I just did an interview with Robert David Steele, and he has said that the elites especially like adrenalized blood, because that adrenalized blood then gives them more of a stimuli per se. So that's the reality of the situation, folks. It's disgusting, but it needs to be said. We even had a recent Dutch whistleblower who was in high finance over in Europe. He stated that he had to sacrifice children in these parties for the elite. And he just came out, I reported on it a few weeks ago, and I'm seeing his story in like larger alternative publications now, which is really cool, like the Free Thought Project and Collective Evolution and whatnot. So this information is going around, but I really want to hammer it home, and I wanted to connect it to what they're telling us in the mainstream media. So they're literally telling us they have to put the truth in plain sight, and the behind-the-scenes truth that they're alluding to here is that the powers that be, the Luciferian ones that literally trace themselves to be some like more pure genetic race, which is why they always keep their crap in the bloodlines, and they believe us muggle humans to be some race here to just serve them. They believe that ingesting the blood of children will strengthen them. And not only do they feed on the physical body of children, but they feed on the negative energetic output of people, of anybody, right? They literally feed on fear and trauma and what some people have termed as being louche. So, these people are psychopathic and sociopathic. They're like frontal lobes where the emotion of love operates just doesn't exist. And they literally believe Lucifer to be the good guy. They believe God to be the bad guy who cast Lucifer out, and Lucifer is the enlightened one, which is why they, the term the Illuminati, because they think they're enlightened with all this stuff. And they think humanity is just here to serve them. So they have absolutely no regard. They will, kill children, drink the blood, traffic humans, traffic organs, keep liberating technologies away from humanity, and do whatever they need to do with no thought of human life to put their plans in place and to forward their agenda. So the only way we're going to end all of this nasty stuff, like I said, is by shining a light on it, by acting on the exposure of it, by exposing it ourselves, which is what spins that wheel of karma, puts those cosmic laws in our favor, and begins to fail their plans. I mean, they're, like I said, their bodies are literally deteriorating, and the elites are just dropping like flies. So let's continue to digest as much of this information as we can and expose it as much as we can. I know obviously a lot of people are not going to be able to handle the information like this, but we just need to keep planting the seeds and get them to handle it, because a lot more of this stuff is going to come out and everybody's going to have to learn it. And the sooner you learn it, the better off you'll be, and the more apt you will be to then help other people begin to digest it. So that's essentially what I want to say about all that. And not fun stuff, like I said, to talk about, but it needs to be talked about. I will continue reporting on it as I see fit. And there you go. So thank you all. Thank you all for tuning in to this nasty ass episode of Whiteboard. So take care, guys.